Hi, Loons fans. I'm Dr. Aimee Klapach. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Allina Health Orthopedics, and I'm the lead physician with the Minnesota United. Whether you're a Loons player or an aspiring soccer player, it's important to stay active, keep up your strength for practice so we can prepare for getting back on the field. Also, during this time where we've been sitting around a lot more, it's really important to get up and move during the day just to get that blood flowing so we don't get stiff. But here's the catch: as you increase your intensity, increase your minutes on the field, and increase your skill level, you do increase your risk for injury. So we're here today to talk to one of our favorite Loons players, Mr. Ethan Finlay, about how to recover successfully from an injury and how to stay healthy after. Ethan, are you there?
I am, Dr. Clay Peck. I don't like seeing you all too often, but when I do in these types of settings, it's great.
I get it. Yep. I prefer doing exercises than seeing you in surgery. Ethan, how are things going? I thought we'd share today with some of our viewers. You're obviously such a wonderful soccer player, great guy as well, and wanted to talk to you today about how to recover successfully from an injury. Injuries do happen no matter how fit we are, but just talk to our teams out there and our players out there how to recover successfully, and then what are you doing either differently to prepare for your profession?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing great. This is a very tough time for many of us, whether you're a professional athlete or you play club soccer or high school soccer, whatever that might be. So we're all trying to find ways to stay active. And when I go back and I think about injuries, I never had a major injury in my entire career up until I tore my ACL there in 2018. And I think a lot of us as young people, we feel like we're invincible. And like I said, never had any major injuries going into this whole thing. And I probably was fortunate not to have that because I learned very quickly that there's a lot of things preventative that you can do to help prevent your body from having major injuries. And so maybe I was just lucky to not have an injury for so many years. But as I went through that process and got injured, had those 4 to 5 days where, we had many conversations back and forth, and there was a lot of stress, personally, and I think even just around of, what am I going to do? I started learning a lot more about what it was going to take to come back. After I tore my ACL 9-10 months after I was, completely recovered and you guys gave me the green light, I've continued to always do my prehab exercises, things that I did day one, almost after my surgery, that you did so beautifully and so successfully.
Well, Ethan, your injury is a very common injury that we see, unfortunately. Soccer players pivoting, cutting sports are injuries that we see this. And again, the higher the intensity of the player, the higher the risk of having this injury. Ethan unfortunately injured his anterior cruciate ligament. That's the ligament on the inside of the knee that prevents the shin bone from going forward with respect to the thigh bone. So what that means, it's the rope that allows you to run, cut, jump, pivot, accelerate, decelerate. And I don't know if you've ever watched Ethan Finlay accelerate, but he's got some serious wheels on him. So he definitely needs that ACL to maneuver and cross and pass those balls. So when it's not so much that you can't live without the ACL, but the ACL protects the inside cartilage in the knee. And that's really the protective forces in the knee that help us prevent arthritis. So in high-level athletes, the ACL is an absolute needed structure that needs to be fixed, reconstructed. We put in new tissue in order for that ligament to or reestablish that rope. And then the goal is really to protect that cartilage. Well, should we go through some drills with a focus on, getting some prehab? So thank you so much. So first, every Loons player starts their activity with a great warm-up. This is a jog line to line. So Ethan's showing us great form, warming up, keeping everything in line. This allows Ethan's body to prepare for the increased activities that he's going to be experiencing. This is a great exercise to do when you're in between your classes, reading a book, even watching TV. So this would be a great exercise to get up and get moving. Perfect form, Ethan. Thanks. The next drill we're going to work on is our shuttle run, side to side. The purpose of this exercise is to really strengthen the inner and outer thigh muscles. which help keep the knee straight and help keep the knee bending in, which is a mechanism that can put more stress on the ACL. Perfect. So Ethan's working on that stepping and turning so that he's getting good plant, allowing his body to prepare for that acceleration and deceleration activities that you do so much during soccer. Perfect form. Great job. The next exercise we work up to is backward running. This really works the backside, the glute muscles, the hamstrings, allows a lot of our soccer players, we have a lot of backpedaling that we need to do. Those posterior muscles are a huge support for preventing that shin bone from going forward. So really help support that ACL, especially when you're in those high intensity, high risk positions. Great form. Thanks, Ethan. The next is a real strengthening drill called the sideways bench raise lower hips. Our Loons players do a lot of this in our training room prior to the games, really getting blood flow moving and strengthening the core. The core muscles, the glute muscles, and your core abdomen are one of the biggest protectors for your body and really help keep things balanced. You can even extend this and make this even harder by doing a leg lift, adding to once you get your strength core-wise, and then you can even do a leg lift. You can see Ethan was even jacking it up even more, trying to get on the ottoman there, going to level 10. So he's just a beast. 3. Yeah, he's just unbelievable. So this is harder than it looks, guys. In perfect form, he's keeping his legs, his hips, everything in line and really controlling. That's so important, especially as you guys are getting knocked around in the box, a lot of body contact. That's your favorite drill, isn't it, Ethan?
Yeah, 2 sets of that will tire anybody out, I swear to you.
Exactly. Next is a big one, and this is really important for all of our contact athletes, lateral jumps. So this really coordinates a lot of things. One is strength, one is balance, and proprioception. Proprioception is your brain muscle memory. So Ethan's going to really work on perfect balance. This is also super hard. And you can sort of elevate this. You can start just by balancing on one foot when you're brushing your teeth, just getting that core balance. And then when you work up, you can work up to something like this where you're doing lateral jumping. And you can notice something that Ethan does really well is his knee doesn't fall in. It's nice and straight, it even bows to the outside if needed. So he's got really good core strength and really good balance. Awesome job, Ethan. Technique looks really good. Those are hard too. Really.
So got it 2 years later.
I know, and they're fantastic. Do you feel like those are an exercise that you've incorporated into your training?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say when I was doing that throughout my training, even going into my prehab, I still have guys now who ask me today, why I'm doing it. And I usually tell them, and I'll see them add it to their own prehab.
The last is really a lot what we see sort of more dynamic, and that's sort of the run forward with the 3-step deceleration. So we see a lot of that change of directions. And again, good body control helps. So this is another exercise that we work on. And that's deceleration, keeping the pelvis nice and straight across so he's not dropping his leg and that knee isn't falling in. Ethan has perfect form, so he works really hard on his strength, conditioning, and his form. That's great. Thank you so much. Perfect.
Getting tired from this.
I know, you did great. Well, thanks for showing our athletes out there how to recover successfully from injury and how to stay fit. And obviously, we're so proud of our Loons, and thanks for all you do, and thanks for keeping fit and working hard. We can't wait to get to see you back on the pitch.
Thanks for having me. I'm having a nice sweat right now. I appreciate it. And, everyone go out there and stay active, whatever you do, whether it's these exercises or it just happens to be outside. Stay active and be well.
Thanks, Ethan. Take care.
See ya.
I want to thank all the healthcare workers out there. Appreciate all you guys do for us, specifically Allina Health, the doctors, the nurses, the therapists, everyone who is affiliated with Allina Health. Thank you very much for all you do for us.